Tata Sons win the control of Air India once again with 18,000 crore rupee bid. Welcome back Air India, says Ratan Tata. Supreme Court comes down heavily on the UP government over the Lakhimpur violence, says not satisfied with the action so far. Treat the accused the same way we treat the other persons in other cases, says the court. No bail for Aryan Khan from the magistrate's court. He, along with two other accused, will spend the weekend in jail. The judge says the bail petition is not maintainable in his court. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. Tata Sons has been selected as the winning bidder for Air India, ending decades of attempts to privatize a money-losing and debt-laden airline and potentially ending years of taxpayer bailouts that's kept the company alive. Tata Sons, which originally launched Air India in 1932, bid 18,000 crore rupees for the airline. The government aims to complete the transaction by the end of 2021.
The country's first flight was a Puss-Moth service from Karachi to Bombay in 1932. The first international flight took off from Bombay to London.
In 1953, the government nationalized Air India, an airline started by J.R.D. Tata. Today, 68 years later, this big announcement, Air India will be back with the Tatas by the end of the year.
The Tata Sons Private Limited, their SPV, Thales Private Limited, is the winning bidder at 18,000 crore.
And here's why this is crucial.
If you say net worth of the Air India for which we are selling the equity, so if you are looking at equity consideration, it is minus 32 at this position. Air India is deeply negative.
For 89 years, Tata Airlines, which became Air India, came to define civil aviation in India. In 1960, it became the first Asian airline to induct jet aircraft. In 62, it became the world's first all-jet airline. But from the mid-70s onwards, Air India came to lose its stellar reputation. Heavily overstaffed, bureaucratic, with plummeting service standards meant the airline defined the word inefficient. In 1978, after the crash of a Boeing 747, the Prime Minister Morarji Desai dropped J.R.D. Tata as chairman. It was only in 1986 that he was restored to the post. But Air India was still relatively profitable, given its near monopoly over Indian skies. But it was this decision in 2007 to merge Air India and Indian Airlines that spelled financial disaster for both entities.
Well, I think in hindsight everybody can say anything, but the fact is that it was a well-intentioned merger, makes a lot of economic sense.
Different working cultures, a massive order of aircraft from Boeing and Airbus, and the entry of competitors like Indigo meant Air India began to bleed financially. From 2009 to 2010, 1,10,276 crores of taxpayer funds kept the airline afloat. Today it loses a whopping 20 crore rupees each and every day. Despite the financial losses, Air India still managed to earn a solid reputation of placing the nation ahead of itself. Evacuating Indian nationals from around the world during the first Gulf War right now to the COVID period has been a hallmark of the airline, which remains a symbol of pride in India. The Tatas will have the opportunity of regaining the image and reputation it enjoyed in earlier years. Mr. J.R.D. Tata would have been overjoyed if he was in our midst today. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
All right, now to the latest on the Lakhimpur violence. The Supreme Court on Friday came down heavily on the UP government. We are not satisfied with the action so far, the court said. What is the message that you are sending? The top court asked. Meanwhile, Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son Ashish skipped questioning in the case. He has been summoned again on Saturday.
The law must take its course against whoever is involved. strong words from the Supreme Court of India on the Lakhimpur violence as it criticized the Adityanath government over the handling of the case, which has sparked countrywide outrage. 6 days after his SUV crushed 4 farmers and a journalist to death, Ashish Mishra, the son of the Union Minister of State for Home, Ajay Mishra, has still not been arrested. A 3-judge bench headed by the Chief Justice of India today said, "We are not satisfied with the action taken by the UP government so far." The Chief Justice of India said, "We expect responsible government and police treat the murder accused the same way we treat the other persons in other cases." What is the message that you are sending? Even in normal circumstances, will the police not go immediately and arrest the accused? Things have not proceeded the way they should have. It appears to be only words and not action. Lawyer Harish Salve, appearing for the UP government, told court, "I agree that enough has not been done." Mr. Salve added, "We have issued fresh summons to Ashish Mishra. If he does not appear by 11 a.m. tomorrow, the law will take its course." The Supreme Court also expressed apprehension over the handling of the case by the state government and the probe being transferred to the CBI. The Chief Justice of India said, "The CBI cannot be given the matter for reasons you understand, because of the persons involved." The Chief Justice said, "We have seen details of the SIT. You have a DIG, a Superintendent of Police, circle officers. All these are local people. This is what happens when all are local people." The Chief Justice said, "The UP government should tell us on the next hearing on the 20th of October about which alternate agency can handle the case." The Chief Justice directed the UP Police Chief to protect all evidence in the case. Minister Ajay Mishra being confronted by journalists over the UP Police's inaction in the case.
मिश्रा जी, आपके बेटे समन पे क्यों नहीं आए? नाराजगी जताई है, आप इस्तीफा देंगे कि नहीं? मिश्रा जी, आप इस्तीफा देंगे कि नहीं?
But things hardly moved on the ground in Lakhimpur. The local police pasted this second notice at the residence of the minister, asking his son to appear before cops by 11 a.m. on Saturday. This after Ashish Mishra, ironically the son of India's Minister of State for Home, the ministry in charge of police and law and order, skipped police summons.
ऐसे आरोप लग रहे हैं कि जो भी आपकी गाड़ी में थे, आप नहीं हो, आप ऐसा कह रहे हैं, लेकिन जो भी थार, फॉर्च्यूनर और दूसरी गाड़ी में थे, उन्होंने तेज गति से किसानों के ऊपर गाड़ी चढ़ाई और उसकी वजह से लोगों की मौतें हुई हैं।
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसा बिल्कुल मिथ्या है ये।
Mishra was freely available to media just a few days ago. A curious sequence of events played out at the crime branch office here in Lakhimpur earlier today. A DIG rank IPS officer waited for more than 3 hours here for the murder accused Ashish Mishra to show up for questioning. As soon as the Supreme Court started making these strong observations over the case, the officer left from here in a huff.
जिस तरह से ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण तरीके से झूठे आरोप लगाए जा रहे हैं, वो ये सरकार योगी जी की सरकार है, उत्तर प्रदेश में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है, निष्पक्ष जांच होती है। किसी गाड़ी में नहीं था, मौके पर नहीं था, कार्यक्रम स्थल पर था। घटना स्थल और कार्यक्रम स्थल के बीच में 4 किलोमीटर की दूरी है।
आपने देखा है कि एक अपराधी को पुलिस निमंत्रण दे रही है कि मेरे पास आके मैं इससे बात करिए। कभी देखा है आपने पुलिस उसको गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं करती? मुझे तो कर लिया था ना बगैर एफआईआर के। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सुओ मोटो इसका नोटिस लिया है। अब निष्पक्ष जांच कैसे होगी अगर गृह राज्य मंत्री जो मोदी जी की कैबिनेट में हैं वो उनके पिता हैं?
The Uttar Pradesh BJP unit tweeted what appeared to be Chief Minister Adityanath's first comments on the Lakhimpur violence, saying that the Chief Minister had compared politics over Lakhimpur to the Taliban and quoting Adityanath as saying that Taliban supporters are playing politics over Lakhimpur. Adityanath's deputy ironically promised swift action after a week of inaction by cops.
लखीमपुर की दुखद घटना जो हुई है वो दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण, लेकिन उसकी जांच हो रही है। जो दोषी होगा उसे बख्शा नहीं जाए। कोई पद या कोई प्रतिष्ठा या कोई अन्य दबाव किसी भी अपराध करने वाले के काम नहीं आएगा।
At Lakhimpur's crime branch office, the wait for murder accused Ashish Mishra continues. With Sukirti Dwivedi and camera person Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Actor Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan has been denied bail after he was arrested in connection with the drugs on cruise case. He will spend the weekend in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail. A Mumbai magistrate's court said that the bail plea was not maintainable.
Aryan Khan, superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son, being taken to Mumbai's Athar Road jail. He will have to wait for bail at least till Monday. He will be placed in a quarantine cell for 7 days due to COVID protocols. Outside Shah Rukh Khan's home, posters of solidarity for the actor and his wife Gauri, who celebrates her birthday today. The bail pleas of Aryan Khan, Arbaz Merchant and Munmun Dhamecha rejected on grounds of maintainability, which simply means the magistrate's court is not eligible to hear the case. The centre's lawyer, Additional Solicitor General Anil Singh, had argued for the anti-drugs agency NCB, saying that this was not the appropriate court for hearing the bail plea.
तीनों बेल एप्लीकेशंस की बहुत डिटेल में सुनवाई हुई, 2 ग्राउंड्स पे सुनवाई हुई कि ये कोर्ट प्रॉपर कोर्ट नहीं है, सेशंस कोर्ट में ये याचिकाएं फाइल होनी चाहिए, और दूसरा जो कोर्ट का जो मेरिट्स ऑफ द केस बोलते हैं उसमें भी सुनवाई हुई.
The lawyers for the accused urged the court to hear the plea and decide, which the court did. 8 people were detained after the NCB raided a cruise ship last Saturday. 3 bail pleas were heard today.
Once the JNFC court has powers to try this particular matter, then definitely it has power to grant bail also, and hear the bail application also. So accordingly, but however, without not going into the merits of the case, the magistrate court has, I would say, it's an impugn order, I would say, which I would be definitely challenging in the sessions court.
Till now, the court hasn't given a detailed order. The reasons have not yet been stated, but as far as we are assuming, it is because of the commercial quantity in the CR. That in the case, in the case that it said that it is not maintainable, you can go to the sessions court and you can move the sessions court.
Even though no seizures were made from Aryan Khan, the Narcotics Control Bureau's lawyers argued that given the seizures from the other accused and the alleged connections between the other accused pointed towards a conspiracy, and therefore the magistrate's court was not the appropriate court to decide on a bail plea. The magistrate agreed and refused to entertain the bail pleas. Aryan Khan's lawyers have indicated they will move the sessions court on Monday for bail. Shah Rukh and his family will now have to wait at least until Monday. In Mumbai, with camera person Praveen G. Rohit and Rohit Khilnani, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
A spate of targeted civilian killings in Kashmir has led to panic among the Kashmiri Pandit community. Dozens of families, many government employees who returned to the valley after being given jobs under PM's special employment scheme for Kashmiri migrants have quietly left accommodations. Nazir Masoodi reports.
जो हमारी मैडम है उन्होंने सिंपली बोल दिया मुझे कि आप एक हफ्ते तक ना आए.
Vinod Bhatt, a school teacher, has not gone to work today. The principal of his school has asked him not to come for another 1 week following series of targeted attacks in Srinagar. The neighborhood of Sheikhpura, home to the minority Kashmiri Pandit community to which Bhatt belongs, wears an abandoned look. It is now guarded by the CRPF, but that doesn't give confidence to Vinod to stay back.
Yes, must be around at least कम से कम कोई 30% people must have left. मैं अगर अकेला यहाँ पर होता चलो मैं देख लेता. But I have small children here, family, mother and my wife. For them I have to leave.
Around 400 Pandit families have been living in Sheikhpura colony. Since yesterday, it's like a ghost town. In other Pandit settlements, many families have left for Jammu.
फैमिली जा रही है सारी हमारी जम्मू. हालात यहाँ पे खराब हो गए इसलिए 2-3 बंदों को तो मार दिया पंडित बंदों को. अभी हम अपना रिस्क नहीं ले रहे.
In the last 5 days, 7 civilians have been killed in Kashmir, of which one was a Sikh school principal, Supinder Kaur. Today, hundreds of Sikhs joined her funeral procession and took out a protest march. Sikh leaders say that they will decide their future course of action after meeting with all Gurdwara committees.
ये बात तो नहीं है कि हम छोड़ देंगे, लेकिन रहने का जी भी नहीं करता. तज़ब्ज़ब में हैं, सारे बैठेंगे, कोई बात किसी बात का फैसला लेंगे.
The local Muslims and leaders joined the mourners and appealed to Sikhs and Pandits not to leave the valley.
हम आपकी शाना पे जाना है, आपसे अपील करते हैं कि किसी भी तरह से यहाँ से जाने का न सोचें.
For now, the biggest challenge for the government is to prevent any further attacks and exodus of Kashmiri Pandits. But it appears damage is already done. Many Kashmiri Pandits are leaving the valley. On investigation front, it seems police is still clueless. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Now, income tax searches continued on the relatives and family members of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar on Friday. NCP leader Sharad Pawar slammed the BJP over the raids, calling them misuse of power. "We are not afraid of such guests," he said.
The offices of Parth Pawar, son of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, searched by income tax officials on day 2 of raids on relatives of Ajit Pawar.
6 to 7 IT officials are present over here and the raid is going on. Now while Parth Pawar is present over here, what we come to know is that the raid began on Thursday morning.
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar termed these actions as politically motivated.
मला ईडीची नोटीस पाठवली. त्या बँकेचा मी सभासद नव्हतो. त्या बँकेचं मी कधी कर्ज आयुष्यात घेतलं नाही. आणि असं असताना मला ईडीची नोटीस दिली. मला त्यांनी ईडीची नोटीस दिली आणि सवन महाराष्ट्राने भाजपला वेदी ठरवलं.
अजित पवारचे नातेवाईक म्हणून जर धाड टाकलेली असेल तर राज्यातल्या जनतेने ह्या गोष्टीचा जरूर विचार केला पाहिजे की कुठल्या स्तरावर जाऊन आज ह्या वेगवेगळ्या संस्थांचा वापर हा त्या ठिकाणी केला जातो.
But according to information provided by the Income Tax Department, the tax agencies searched a firm where Ajit Pawar's son Parth Pawar is a director. Few firms owned by Pawar's sister, and there are 4 sugar mills and real estate firms linked to Pawar family. They claim to have exposed a large syndicate that was run by some businessmen and middlemen together. They claimed to have unearthed rupees 1,050 crore worth of transactions. Middlemen provided end-to-end services to corporates and entrepreneurs from land allotment to obtaining all governmental clearance. Transfer posting for big posts were also done by these middlemen. The syndicate included persons holding public offices as well. Apart from Ajit Pawar, several other Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi leaders like Anil Deshmukh, Anil Parab, Bhavna Gauli, Anandarao Atsul, Pratap Sarnaik, wife of Sanjay Raut, have been under the radar of several agencies.
Speaking to the media, both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar reminded about the notice that the ED gave to Sharad Pawar before elections and how BJP had to pay for it during the elections. Apart from Ajit Pawar, there are several ministers and leaders from the Mahavikas Aghadi government who have been called for questioning by different agencies, and that's the reason NCP is saying that even this one is politically motivated. In Mumbai, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
Welcome back. Police say that they have solved the case of murder of a young Muslim man in North Karnataka's Belagavi district with the arrest of 10 people. The victim's body was found near a railway track. Police say that he was killed because of interfaith relationship.
A young man, Arbaz Aftab Mullah, murdered, and his body left on a railway track in Karnataka's northern Belagavi district. Police have arrested 10 people in the case, including the parents of a young Hindu woman who was in a relationship with Arbaz. Police say he was killed because of this relationship, with the woman's family even paying money to contract killers. One of the accused, Maharaj, believed to have actually carried out the murder, belongs to an organization called the Sri Rama Sena Hindustan.
On the day of murder, the Arbaz was called from Belgaum to Khanapur and he was murdered near the railway track, and then the body was thrown in the railway track to make it appear as if it is a train accident or a suicide attempt. Motive of the murder is because the Arbaz used to love a girl called Shweta, and from last 2-3 years there was an issue between the two families.
Arbaz's mother was in Goa at the time of the murderous attack on her son 2 days later. Police say the investigation is still on into this vicious crime of hate. Maya Sharma for NDTV.
And that's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.